Right, hello everybody. We are round 3 in your Super Sprint Sunday, season 17. Would you believe it? I am the Wufafa, otherwise known as Greg, and joining me along for the ride is my good friend Retro Ghost Owen. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing very well, thank you, buddy. Another round, another day, another dollar. Round 3. Bath hurts. Sorry, Bath hurts. I mean, it hurts when you come on the way down. Just like a bath bomb, like G Brown dropped to F bomb in the stream last week. Hopefully, he can keep his skills on the tarmac and not in the swear jar.
Absolutely. So he wants to keep those to himself, as he wants to not drop as many of those going up the uphill section here. It's a tricky one. Like I said, Bathurst, Bathurst, basically the same thing. As you can see, we've just caught Fernandez whacking the wall. This section in the middle is a tough one. So much so that even the solid ones like Fernandez do back out all the way to the pits after a solid whack to the wall. We have a number of corners around here, not numbered but named. All the way from the quarry bend all the way to the forest elbow are multiple corners, blind corners that are ready to smash, bash and crash your car into oblivion and cause a bottleneck just like the M25 and send you round and round until your head starts spinning and you want to go home crying to your mama. But we are here for the action. If you're not familiar with the sprint format on a Sunday evening, it has changed a few seasons as gone by, but this evening for season 17 we start your evening off with a one-shot quali. Each tier that you can see to your left, which is the Pro, Silver and Am tier, Pro represented by the white, Silver represented by the grey, and your Am tier just down at the bottom represented by the red. So they go out one at a time, Am first, then Silver, then Pro in 5-minute segments, and then that will set the grid for the first race of 20 minutes, and then we'll have a short server reset, don't say I didn't warn you, just before we come out the server to go back in for a reverse grid for race 2. Now, there is no hacking your way to a reverse grid pole. You have to complete 75% of all the laps to be considered for the reverse grid. Anybody outside of that will go to the back. Now, obviously, this isn't the best track to try and avoid the mayhem that we experienced last week in multiple races. But here we go. It's all about having fun. It's all about trying to battle the challenges. But I'm looking forward to this one. It throws the cat amongst the pigeons and gives us a lot of spice in our sauce. Now, as you might see at the top of the timing screens, both me and Owen, before the stream, were watching with absolute amazement at the time that Jazzman Vermeulen has been putting down on the track. Very, very close to doing a sub 2-minute lap, which just makes my eyes wince. But yeah, I think a few people, once they drop their fuel down a bit, hopefully we'll be a little bit closer to that, because that is quite a big gulf at the top, isn't it?
Absolutely, buddy. And say a track like a Bathurst, it will keep you on your toes for the whole duration, no matter if it's a 10-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute, or even like the lads are going to do 40-minute sprint, Super Sprint Sunday. There is no pit stop required. It is an all-out 40-minute pedal to the absolute metal to make sure the tricky, twisty, curvy, lovely parts of the skyline in Sector 2 do not make you look for the stars like Elon Musk's rocket and shoot for the moon, because you will absolutely destroy your car to pieces. I think when I first started playing ATC, I think I got the trophy for most damage. I think I did like 10 minutes of damage because I rolled the cars more than Mary Berry does when she does a lovely Crimble Crumble.
Yeah, you can't rely on gravity taking you all the way to the bottom from Skyline. You do have to make the turns and the braking points. So that's what our drivers are facing this evening. We're just watching Fernandez see out the practice session before we go into our sprint qualifying. You will have to excuse us. This isn't the easiest track to cover sprint qualifying on, so we'll just try and catch everybody to the line on their one shot. They do have that 5 minutes to complete the lap, so that's an out lap, their push lap, and obviously they're in lap if they choose to take it instead of setting to the pits. So that is mandated by the drivers. Any driver caught doing more than one full lap will be penalised. Will be starting, I believe, from the pit lane in the following race. Enforced by Mr. G Brown, who's just joined us.
Uh-oh, we're already
My
being
ears are
told
burning.
off already. It's not past 15 minutes, buddy. No, 20p in the swear jar just yet.
My ears are burning.
On fire!
How are you doing, guys?
We're doing very
Very
well. How
well,
about yourself?
thank
Are you
you.
looking forward to this, or are you you gritting your teeth?
The second one, I think.
So,
definitely
in
not-
hindsight, who's the person we blame for choosing a track selection like Spa and Bathurst back to back?
Why? I mean, I can give you the answer, but why is that a bad thing?
He's stumbling. I think we can work out who it was based on his avoidance.
I'm not going to throw them under the bus.
It's nice,
They
bit.
do have an affinity towards sheep. Who are we watching just now on stream, guys?
We are watching Thacker currently. He's the first one out, and he's about to go uphill towards Skyline. He's going fast around the fast bits towards Skyline. That would be McPhillamy Park.
Nice, well done.
I have a cheat sheet.
I know Skyline and the Bentley Elbow, and that's it. So that's fine. I'm a little bit ahead of the stream, I think, so I won't spoil anything. But I'll sit on board the Thacker just now. I'll watch for the next few minutes with you guys. Give a third voice, a little bit like your very own Ted Kravitz. And then I'll jump back in the car.
That's the bit there and get in your notebook. So yeah, we're just following Thacker right now. He's going around the Conrad Straight. Conrad Straight, not Conrad. Towards the chase, but he's not on a lap just yet.
Straight.
I mean, it's a little bit. There is just as you come out of the elbow onto the straight, it is a little bit bent. So
Yeah.
check your track map. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Oh,
But he's braking
in. Change your cheat sheet.
So he's coming around Murray's corner now onto the pit straight, and he's going to attempt Hell corner best he can. Now, in my practice, this is very, very vital. Taking the second gear most of the time, and out you come, and this will carry your speed all the way down towards Quarry Bend, up the mountain straight. He's on throttle here. He's going to go all the way up to sixth gear, if his car allows him to. I know my Lambo does. Carry through this corner in third gear. Let it drift all the way out wide. Quite conservative for this lap, it seems. And then he's going to head up the cutting. So far in my practice, I've been able to take that almost flat out and then just brake as I see the exit, but he seems to have tightened his line up. It's deceptive if you can take this corner flat. You won't know until you come out on the exit if that wall collects you. Now you're pretty much bring on the wall. As it's a little bit wide through Sunderland Park. And as he comes towards Skyline, you want to flick the car back over to the left, brake before the mound hits you, and then as you head downhill, you can start accelerating. He elects not to take the curb, down to second. And then into the dipper. And he slowly brings his car around, hug the wall as tight as you can, brake down into second or first gear, it depends on your car. Push himself out, and once again, crucial exit onto the Conrad Straight. Very easily bring the car into sixth gear here. There is tarmac on the outside you can use if your car does require that little bit extra of a swing in. Let's see if he takes it. Elects not to. Feels confident in his Porsche's downforce.
Good on
Brakes
the
heavy.
brakes.
Yeah, very good on the brakes. Left it quite late. Then out using all the curb on the exit. Bring the car slowly out to the right hand side. You can use the on-track markers as your guide. You can use the exit on the outside, but make sure it's got it. And he puts
the line.
across the line with a 2-minute 5.4. So that's his set. We can go to number 9. Just behind. And that was Townsend. I just missed him. He's getting brighter every week.
That was a good lap, that.
And then Dreadlock Steve dropping it very low. into the 204s. 985 also coming through as well. Felix in the gold and green, quite far down from his competitors. And then we have Cablo, pops it in P3. Very well done for the Bentley barge. And I've picked up Trotman. I think we've got 334 coming to the line as well.
Kalugin snatches pole from Dreadlock Steve. First AM driver to break into 203s there.
And then Trotman
That's
into the Aussie son, Townsend says. As you are now
Does the Aussie son make his car look any more purple or pink?
He says more pink,
I can't
apparently.
tell.
So it's as pink as last week, he says.
Leave you. I will let you go on with it.
Yeah, sorry, we kind of didn't really give you any time in the sun, did we?
If I don't go now, I won't get a lap, so I'm going to go now.
Yeah. You go, everybody. Best of luck.
Cheers. Goodbye.
Right. That's a Townsend naming himself the Pink Panther. He's hoping that his car doesn't go thudum, 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 all the way down the dipper.
Whoa, hang on a minute, that's copyright. Could it be dudum, 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 into the wall goes Townsend. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. It's commentator's curse, that. It's horrible.
Well, it's a reverse commentator's curse. Come on, I've had enough time studying. I've had enough time studying you. I've had enough time studying you and your commentator's curse. It's always when you say something positive. I think Townsend's showing his age there. Says he loves that show.
I think I've still got the box set of it somewhere.
But here we go. We're on board with Richings. The new Stu Rogers music on VHS. Yes, lad. Stu Rogers does music. He's on Spotify, along with our our podcast crew.
The only one I can think of is like some interesting football chant. Obviously, being a Mustang and DRS, Stu Rogers. But I mean, I'd love to know what it is.
It's not really fitting unless it's sort of like some Western music, is it?
God, did you
we
can't listen to it.
We've got to wait a whole 2 hours to get our hands on that.
Oh, that's going to be great banter for next week.
I might have to just mute in between the server changeover. Yeah, there we go. Townsend offering us a little football chant. But we're not in the pros right now. We're in with the silver, and we're in with Richings, who's well on his lap and is staying very committed. He has missed that apex, though. Might have had to lift off as he now comes through McPhillamy Park onto Skyline. It's great commitment, but he has to have to slow down midway through the Skyline. That'll cost him time. I do have to apologise for the cars going out of sight. The banner at the top of the screen is to not allow me to see much as they go downhill. So it's Friedman saying that his practice is his quali lap. He wants us all to be impressed, doesn't he? He's going to do something decent and we're all meant to be impressed. We're not going to cover it, Friedman. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean...
we might.
Zero practice on Bathurst isn't a bad thing, I guess. Just use the walls to help you. So when you go bowling and you put the barriers up when you have bowling, so it's alright. It's basically the same thing. Instead of a bowling ball, you have a 2-ton GT3 car.
You had plenty of tons hitting you on Tuesday, didn't you?
Oh, I did. But that's a spoiler for anyone in the league chat. I can't repeat what I said in the server. But a 20-car pile-up on Taco Tuesday, I'm your man.
So as we have it, Checkmasov leading it off with a 202.6, 6 tenths ahead of Handley, 8 tenths ahead of Richings. We've got Derrick over the line.
Nice to see him return as well. 202.4 from the man in the Mustang.
Oh, as we see Bakker come through the final turn, taking a lot of it, and a lost time for that. And he puts himself well amongst the AM drivers. But 242, that is Mr. Naisbitt in the Sky Ferrari. Oh, yeah, we're really missing your Lichka. We needed that. If you've seen what times Vermeulen was doing in practice, we needed that sort of competition. As Naisbitt is having to go again.
Oh.
He's invalidated.
Stu Rogers now leading the silver tier with a 2:02.0.
That's very strong pace for the silver tier. I've just picked up my Lamborghini friend, our admin, the man who can't keep his mouth in control in the comms box. Mr. G Brown is about to attempt the final turn and see if he can throw himself up the order. He had a very, very strong week last week. Really shown that the Lambo isn't as bad as everybody makes out. And he goes 6/10 off Rogers. As we're now starting to see other drivers head around. I think we might have to go back on board with Naisbitt. I believe he is pushing.
He is. He's just rounding the skyline now, just going into the Big Dipper.
Do you know, I wish I could use the drive cameras. I wouldn't have to put up with not seeing anything going down the hill. I'm relying on my co-commentator for that for you, everybody. So Naisbitt back down the Conrod Straight. I think most of the guys in the Silver and Pro tier will be finding this turn here, the chase, or the entry into the chase, pretty easy, flat. But he's still pushing on. And I see just behind him, we've got Vermeulen.
Mr. Alien.
There's Naisbitt. What does he do? P1. So 201.8.
Does that count as a valid lap because he did another lap?
We didn't. Well, that was his first valid lap. We're yet to see if
I don't
what
know.
the admins want to do about that. Now,
Just get the FIA involved.
the man you've all come to see, Mr. Jazzman, starts his flying lap. You might have a little bit of traffic up ahead. Hopefully that'll act as a tow, not as hindrance. Flies through Quarry Bend with absolute commitment all the way to the wall, all the way over the curb. Harley committed as well. Up the cutting. And now up to Griffin Mount. And as he enters Reed Park, and then around Solomon Park. Park where I imagine a lot of cars are going to park themselves this evening with a bit of damage. But probably not Mr. Jazzman. That's massively committed. Over the outside curbing. Throws his car into second. Throws it down the hill. Into the dipper. And pulls it round first elbow. Actually opens the car up a little bit just to straighten it. Straight line is braking even earlier. But now he's got Porsche ahead of him. Be hoping to be getting out of the way pretty soon. We don't really need to listen to an engine chord here. We know this is flat. Doesn't even use that much of the outside of the track. Brakes heavy for the chase. Roll back on the accelerator as quick as you can. Dives down into the final bend. We're going to go all the way to the top because we're going to assume that's about where he's going to be. As a 2:0.9, not quite what he did in practice, but a strong time nonetheless. And we've got car number 5. About to complete the lap. That's Clayton in the Aston Martin. Fast on the straights. Is he faster on the bends? No. P15 for Clayton. He'll be really disappointed in that. Well, Wouter Heymans. A bit of a bound over the curb, but nothing too distracting. Goes P4. Tell you what, these silver tier drivers have done well. Thrown caution to the wind. Now picks up Adam Sharp. P3, starting from behind Jasman. Got car 500. Zepanik. A huge wing on the back of that McLaren. Takes a bit of the outside curb. Where's that put him? P3. Pushes sharp back. As Fernandez! Fernandez has pipped Vermeulen! Completely unsighted. Just clearly just got a cleaner lap out of it. Fernandez, absolutely astonishing. We've still got cars going round. We've got car number 21. This is Rashidov. Will there be any more upsets this evening? I don't think he set a lap in the end.
Travaglioli, P1.
So, Vermeulen, not even on the front row. What a turn up for the Bucks. He was practicing, he was getting those times in. Quali. In practice, but now demoted down to P3. We've still got cars going around. 208. This is Friedman, the man with no practice in the very colourful Porsche, puts himself, we're still going, in P4. So a bit of a gap away from those ahead of him, but second row of the grid.
Car is Eden coming round just the final corner in the Aston Martin.
Puts himself P18. So, huge news in quali there. Something none of us expected. If you were following the practice, you would not have seen that one coming. Looks like Vermeulen had the beating everybody. But Travaglioli and Fernandez all somehow managed to find themselves also in the 2-minute zeros, pipping Vermeulen, who was hot favourite going into this one. But now he's going to have to do a fair bit of work to get past these cars. Now, if Travaglioli and Fernandez have got low downforce setups, he might make a real problem for Vermeulen, who was maybe hoping for some outright pace in the mid-sector to really give himself an advantage. Obviously, he normally joins us in the chat afterwards. We'll find out from him what maybe cost him and how that will play into his race. As Gedman now informs as he hit the wall. And red lapped. Oh no. So Gedman, we go down the order. Yeah, he is starting from the back with Rashidov. He didn't set a time, along with Grace and Kukumlakis and Floris. So as we go down, Gedman push in for the zeros as well. So as we mentioned, Travaglioli, he says, I'll take your word for it. Don't worry about it. As we have...
Yeah, I was always pushing a 2-minute in my dreams.
Yeah.
It just didn't have the numbers after the 2-minute.
Yeah. I do loads of 2 minutes when the laps are red. Then Fernandez, Vermeulen, Friedman as your top four. The Pro Tier. Silver Tier pole goes to Naisbitt, who then has a few Pro Tier drivers in the form of Prentice, Zepanik, Sharp down to P8. Then P2 in Silver class, P9 in Rogers, Heymans in P10. Third in Silver Tier is Rick in P11. We have Grace in Pro, Brown in Silver, P13, Chesmakov, Vandervoort, Harvey in that silver pack in the middle of the grid. We have Prentice and Eden from Pro, and Handy, Richings and Colpitts, 19 to 21. Then we have a pole for Klugin in the AM tier, followed closely by Dreadlock Steve. Only a tenth separating them, or tenth and a half. Then we have Serpentine, who's dropped down a bit from his silver tier compatriot. We have Clayton, who clearly did not get the lap he wanted, down in P25. Then we have the Pink Panther, Desert Townsend. Then we have Trotman, Cablo, Bakker, Thacker, and Felix. And then we have, as we mentioned,
Definitely a tongue twister there, isn't it?
It was Bakker, Thacker, Felix. And we have Grace, Kukumlakis, Floris, Gedman, and Rashidov, who will all be starting from the back of the grid after not setting any laps. But as I've just finished that off, we go to the grid. Only a short formation lap this one, only one corner to round. As we see Travaglioli giving us a smile with his Ferrari as he's poking up in the air. Drivers just setting their cars up for the final time. And we are going to get ready and raring to go in about 2.5 minutes time. So guys, if you're in the chat, let us know if you've got any predictions for yourself. Pro? Is that a wishful comment or?
Is he trying to say Naisbitt should go back to pro?
Potentially. He's lifted the sandbags out after he asked them to get put in for his tier.
Well, I mean, technically I would say he's taken the wool off his eyes, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. You can't do that to me, Owen. No.
But whilst we have our main commentator regain his lungs and his funny bone back into his body, and you want to join the server to listen to us fantastic commentators for your Sprint Sunday, or want to get involved in our Taco Tuesday or Late Night Thursday, or just some of the other events we do, drop a comment on the bottom of the stream and one of the admins will get in touch with you. We also do offer a Patreon service that does start from as little as £3 a month. You can get your special race number reserved, sneaky, behind the scenes, juicy informations, more than what we get as a commentator role. So that's definitely a bargaining tool for a start. I mean, you get to know more than what we do, and we have to read the sheet, and Greg over here's got a cheat sheet and he still gets it wrong.
Oh, I was trying to do things on the fly, guys. I'm sorry.
Why are you so out of breath?
That comment spun me.
Not as much as it's going to spin these drivers into the skyline. Fingers crossed.
I mean, we've seen them go at it one at a time. We're about to see them all go for it in formation. So you guys are in for a treat. You've got front row seats to the Chaos Super Sprint Sunday. 20 seconds to go. And these guys are going to show you, hopefully, a driving masterclass, not a disaster class, all the way for 20 minutes of non-stop action around Bathurst in Mount Panorama. So this is more like this track's more like Takeshi's Castle. And what's their and what's their tower? They've got Mount something. Forget. It's more like that. But the cars are weaving away. Traviaggioli.
I mean, as much as you was taking the absolute Michael out of Dazzle Townsend, you are showing your age of Takeshi's Castle there, mate, I will admit.
Reruns on Dave. But we are about to get underway. Traviaggioli has gone. But it looks like Fernandez is already all over him. He's got the outside, so can Traviaggioli bring this one back? Fernandez is going to try and run around that side, but it's been cut off. Traviaggioli has defended that well. Vermeulen has popped himself up into P3. He doesn't seem to be under too much threat currently, but the slipstream effect will start to come in now. Vermeulen is looking for a dive down the inside. He's on his way. Does he dare it into this bend? No, he doesn't. The Porsche behind went deep.
There's Friedman still behind. There was a bit of a pile up into turn one, but all the
and Prentice has been smashed into the wall from Friedman, but he seems to still be going. He's gone back around the outside. He's held that place from Naisbitt. Now, is Vermeulen crazy enough to send something on the first lap through Skyline? Or the Dipper, or Forest Elbow? There's a few overtaking spots. None of them are easily made. Looks like everybody's getting in fairly smoothly, but if we go down the pack, no one sent a bowling ball yet. So all clean so far. So none of them subscribe to the Retro Ghost Driving School for Beginners.
Whoa, hang on a minute. That was Chris Gedman, punt to pass. I'll have you know, £50 donated to the server, and you could hit anyone you would like, and you get a free pass out of it.
Posted for any official reasoning on April the 1st. But does not. Vermeulen has backed off that little bit further down the pack. I've picked up Zeppelin. It looks like he's going to try and send one round the outside of his McLaren competitor of Sharp, but he backs out just before corner entry. As we have De Rick going
Rogers
slowly.
on the grass. Rogers is on the grass. You spin me right. Sorry, copyright.
Is that why De Rick was waiting? Is De Rick still waiting? De Rick is still waiting. So if he lets Rogers pass, I'm going to assume it was for that. He's coming now.
Oh, who was that? There's a purple McLaren.
Yep.
696.
So it does look like De Rick was the one that hit Rogers.
Car number 5 has gone into the pits after lap 1. Towards the front, Vermeulen is a lot closer to Fernandez now.
So my camera's just catching up. He's had a lazy Sunday. He's had more of a nap than I did. But Vermeulen isn't without his own troubles. He does have Friedman right behind him.
Oh, big smash from Zeppelin into the wall there. Just dropped off sharp there. Haymans is licking his lips at this, ready to make a move on an injured McLaren. Big smash into the wall from Zeppelin there.
So as my camera slowly catches up with the action, Prentice has dropped way back from Friedman. That lead pack is really dragging this out. And now he's got Naisbitt for company. Naisbitt using a lot more of an aggressive...
Oh, sorry buddy, I'm going to interrupt you there. We've got a McLaren 696 sideways and a GTR, Rogers, Thacker, all at the top of the skyline there. Trying to reinstate some form of law and order.
As Rogers really hasn't had a great start. That is one ill-looking Ford. But no, the top 4 continuing to ride line astern. Drivers so far being very respectful of this very tricky track. I've picked up Hanley behind Prentice, the Ferrari chasing the Aston. As they come up the hill. The Aston, we have noted throughout the season, does have the greatest straight line speed. And as we've seen at the moment, it is the leader of a lot of packs because it doesn't seem to be fast through the uphill section, but is fast on these long straights that we have around here. And Sharp has also closed in even more on Naisbitt. This is crucial for the pro drivers behind Prentice to get a move on. But around this fast section, the Aston of Prentice does seem to be doing quite well, carrying the speed. But as you can see, Friedman, Vermeulen, Fernandez and Travaglioli already out of sight. Vermeulen super tight on the rear of Fernandez, which I think he had to brake a bit harder to avoid him, and that's cost him speed. But luckily for him, Friedman is not quite attached to the rear wing of that Ferrari just yet. Now I picked up Richings, as mentioned before, very close on Handley. Ferrari versus Ferrari. Handley just dropping off Prentice in P15. And they've got a BMW, another speed demon behind them, in the form of Colpitts in the BMW. All cars, apart from those at the back, very clean so far. So Vermeulen at the moment looking pretty stifled in that position, and they just look, they're just about to drop Friedman just behind.
So just towards the back, we did see De Rick go past Flores there into the skyline. Big move.
Flores already dropped quite far back, so maybe quite a mistake for Flores there. And I'm picking up Grafe as well on Thacker. The GTR with a lot of straight line speed around here. Or is Thacker limping? We did see him have a bit of a collision early on.
Indeed we do. I think there's a bit of a... Oh, I think Gedman just lagged a bit there. I was spectating him.
It was
Getting
great.
the battle between Townsend, Gedman and Rashidov now going into the uphill.
So into the cutting they go. Porsche has a little look. Let's compromise him on the exit.
Big smash into the wall.
But opportunities not rife as they round the next bend. Doesn't look like Felix is catching too fast, but he is there, he is present. But Rashidov looking very aggressive through here. It's not really a place you can think about an overtake. But the Aston, if he can ace this exit out of Forest Elbow. I tell you what, Gedman's got a good exit.
Really good exit. He's going to have the better advantage being on that side.
I think that McLaren can do it nonetheless. Is he going to let the Aston through as well? He has! Oh, my camera's not there. And Rashidov goes through as well. Forcing the McLaren to the inside. It was doable. We could make the corner, but just compromised. Now Rashidov wants 2 for 1. Gedman defends fiercely. Rashidov sends it back down the inside on the double back. Doesn't get it done. Now behind that, Felix. Now seen a wounded Townsend. Wounded in ego, not in damage. Up ahead, I've just seen Kalugin pretty close on Serpentine. It looks like Serpentine has found a bit better straight line speed as they've exited there. And Vermeulen has picked up the fastest lap.
Zepanek has dusted off his damaged McLaren. He was catching up to Sharp quite a bit there.
So the top 3 now have mostly dropped Friedman. He's 1.3 behind, just in comparison, out of touch with this group. But no, all these guys so even in speed. What about Naisbitt just behind? Prentice has done a great job of holding on to this position, despite being the cork in the bottle for this big group here. It goes from Prentice all the way down to Zepanik. I think we're just waiting for the timing screens to update because it must be bigger than that. As we see,
going back to that lap, Rashidov, I think, looks like he's going to try eye up Gedman for a pass down the Conrad Straight.
next to the inside this time. The extra speed that Aston's got, my goodness. Almost like Gedman was standing still. Gedman is better on the brakes there, but the move is done. It looks like we're going to get a move from Felix on Townsend as well. No, just happy to settle into the corner for the time being.
We've got Heyman's on Grace in the uphill section, just caught that. Due to time screen didn't update. Heyman's side by side with the BMW, but Grace, once again, big on the brakes.
So yeah, the Ferrari in this section just looking a little bit more agile. Brown and Harvey also. Oh, catching Brown in the back of shot. Front of shot, but back of the cars. Takes a big rear slap into the wall. Oh my goodness, and that is Heyman's having an enormous crash. Just too much. I thought he was catching him pretty fast, and he was. But he took the wall as collateral.
Now, speaking of wall of collateral, I see G Brown getting very close to the wall in the dipper there.
I think Prentice that time around has got a better exit than Naisbitt. But we head forward to Vermeulen. is under 3/10 away. Just no real opportunities have really presented. And now Vermeulen takes a bit of the grass in frustration. It's a great battle up front. Nobody giving an inch. Inch perfect driving from all three. Now, Brown had that whack on the previous lap. Now he's got Harvey all over him. Previously a second behind, now 6/10. That doesn't negate Brown from looking at Chekmasov. But I don't think Brown had the best exit. Harvey, sorry, is right there. Just need my camera to swing around. Chekmasov looks for the outside. Has he compromised Brown? Oh my goodness.
That's Harvey and Brown having a battle.
Harvey and Brown, my apologies. So it's my camera's
I thought, where's
not.
the BMW? I don't see no BMW.
My camera's not swinging around fast enough. So yeah, Harvey putting massive pressure on Brown. Now can Brown make it through this section cleaner than he did the last time? He does, and is rewarded with a little bit of breathing room.
So once again, the top three flying down the Conrod Straight in unison formation there.
He's out of the three. Vermeulen does look most likely to make a move, but like I mentioned before, he seems stifled in this battle. And it's not like Fernandez isn't close on Travaglioli, he is.
Speaking of it, Brown has caught massively up to Chekmasov in that last sector there. They made a bit of a mistake there, but he's dropped Harvey and caught up to Chekmasov.
As he looks for a moment like he was going to switch to the inside. Thinks better of it. Chooses a wide line on entry, tries to maximise his exit, and it's a good one. Well, you're probably not going to make a move into turn one when you're thinking about the exit so much.
So top three still a whisker away from each other.
This is absolutely brilliant. So Vermeulen finally thinks about a move. Backs out. First real sign of Vermeulen wanting to get past. Now is the time. He's only got 5 minutes left. Probably accounting for only about 3 laps. Maybe only 2. Once this one's completed. Yeah, you can tell Vermeulen's really harrying this car. All the Ferraris look supreme around here. Oh my
Fernandez
god!
Gone.
Fernandez in the wall! I don't believe there was a touch. There wasn't a touch, I don't believe so. But that has invited Friedman onto the back of Fernandez. Oh, I feel so sorry for him. He does fight on, but I think he's not going to have much that he can do against Friedman here. Friedman's got a good exit. Friedman goes to the inside. I think Fernandez can escape with a P4 here. He does have a good gap to Prentice behind. But now Vermeulen, having had that happen for him, has not closed in on Travaglioli. He's actually lost time overall to Travaglioli. The Aston Martin of Prentice. Both Prentice brothers leading a train. Prentice does seem to be catching Van der Waal, who's been pretty much by himself for most of this race, it seems. You might have to get a little bit defensive from Handley.
Battle down the bottom towards Serpentine and Rashidov, or I think Serpentine just let him pass there.
has just picked up Brown. Quite close, but I think there was a battle a bit further back that looks a bit more spicy. Always we catch Prentice drifting around Quarry Bend, and that has allowed Hanley up on his outside, but can he make it round the cutting cleanly? It's very difficult to make a move around there, and I think he might have to slot back in. Yes, he does. But he does still have speed. He's been given all the outside lines. You don't want to be out there for this one. Oh, as he hits the wall! As expected, you can't just take that corner like that, and he's lost 2 positions for his troubles. Colpitts and Richings go through. Naismith seems to have been in this fight all evening long. Prentice is catching Fernandez, but I don't think it's going to be fast enough.
Well, speaking of catching, Jazzman has taken 7/10 out of Travaglioli in that one sector.
So I am suspecting this is going to be called for the last lap. Yeah, there we have it. If there's a time for any Vermeulen brilliance, it is now. Showed his nose even on the entry to that corner. Not sure how wise that was. Hopefully he hasn't compromised his exit. Jumps into the slipstream that he's had all evening long, but been able to capitalise on it without Fernandez dumping himself into a wall. Potentially Travaglioli's just played his setup game just right. He's just got just over 2 minutes to survive. But Vermeulen is not giving him an inch. Travaglioli is driving so well. He's just got to ace his lap. Ace his exits. And he should be safe from Vermeulen. But he's gone a little bit wide. Through Solomon Park. Surely there's not a move into Skyline that Vermeulen wants to think about. And Vermeulen just slightly compromised his exit there, his entrance into Skyline there. Down into the Dipper. And then down again into Forest Elbow. This exit is crucial. There's a waning car just ahead of him. Hopefully they get out of the way. That is car number 63. There's Flores, so hopefully he sees this coming. They're approaching quick. Vermeulen ducks to the inside. They go around the bend. And they touch! And that's Travaglioli way off track. And Vermeulen is going to come home to take this. I don't believe he went deep in the corner. But now that is going to promote Friedman into P2. So after dropping off from the pack, after struggling, after having no practice, he does achieve P2 in race 1. Now who's going to come home first at Travaglioli and Fernandez? Travaglioli does. Fernandez battered himself. It's coming P4. And then Sharp is seen off by Prentice in the Aston Martin. Naismith gets the tier win for Silver. Brown P2. Been a common occurrence for him so far this season. Then Harvey checks McGough, Prentice. And for the AM tier, Klugen does seem to have quite a good gap to bring home. So for the AM tier win, leading Townsend and Trotman. Through goes Klugen. Says hello to his pit wall. And the podium is completed by Townsend and Trotman. And then Felix, Dreadlock Steve, Kuko Mlakis, who I think was quite close to Dreadlock Steve for a little while. And then so Dreadlock Steve is going to come home for a P5 in class. Kuko Mlakis a P6 in class.
connection's crashed, so bear with me for just a second there.
Still got the stream on this end, so we're all good for now.
Just make sure you save the replay, buddy.
So now we will go through the timings and the final finish positions in just a moment. So there you have it. After a very eventful race, Vermeulen did come home with the win, followed by Friedman after a very eventful time, following the pack. Then Travaglioli and Fernandez, who were previously leading the race. Then Prentice, Sharp, as mentioned, Naismith got the silver tier win, followed by Grace, and then Brown with the P2, Harvey with the P3. And then Chetsmikoff, P11, followed by Van der Waal, who didn't get seemingly involved in much. Then Prentice, Colpitts, Richings, Eden, Serpentine, Gedman, Klugen, Townsend, and Trotman fill your AM tier podium, followed by Felix, Dreadlock Steve, Kokomalakis, Clayton, Stepanik, Flores, Rogers, Bakker, Heymans, and Grafe. And then Cablo, who had a pretty big incident earlier on. So we are just going to leave the server because they are going to be resetting it for race 2, so don't go anywhere. Oh, so what an eventful one that one was, Owen.
It was indeed, buddy. It was always going to be a last lap battle. And so unfortunately I was looking at the replay as my game did crash, so I don't have the luxury of seeing it in the big helicopter as I was flicking through the pack as it happened, so I didn't get to see all of it.
So what we are quickly going to do, whilst we wait for the lobby to reset, we're going to have a little look at that last lap collision. We will save our judgment and leave it up to you, the audience. So it was... hold on.
So car number 1.
Let's go back a lap. Let's go all the way.
No, just... Oh. There was much
I know I could have gone back.
To do that.
I know. So as we can see, he's going to get alongside once he gets to slipstream. Ooh, I don't know. We flick forward to Fagioli. Oh, wouldn't want to be a steward for that one. It looked tight.
Even the categories.
So we're going to attempt to rejoin the server now. We should all be set for race 2, which is now going to be a reverse grid.
For a 40-minute sprint.
I think it's still showing as... I just need to check the Discord, make sure we're ready to rumble. Not just yet, so bear with us, guys. But yeah, if you've enjoyed watching the events unfold this evening, do make sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We post almost every single night of the week different forms of racing, whether it be ACC, Assetto Corsa Evo coming at some point, Formula 1, GT7, WRC, maybe even someday, maybe even some Mario Kart. We don't know.
But the server is ready to join now, buddy.
I've just seen that. And we are heading back in.
Green light. Go, go, go.
So just bear with me while I try and get a decent camera. Nobody wants to watch this in trail cam. I think that's the one. Yeah, we'll go with that. Check on somebody that may or may not have gone out. Somebody go and drive. I need to check my camera.
You can still do it whilst in the pit lane.
I know, but it's hard to say whether it's actually the good one or not, because it alters the camera when you're in the pit lane. Let my old weary head worry about it. But not long left now, guys. We're just getting all the drivers in this free practice, and then we'll be ready and raring to go for your race 2. And as Owen said, 40 minutes, once again, non-stop action, no requirement for pits, no requirement to change tyres, add fuel or anything else, unless you smash your car to pieces in the skyline. You can just carry on and push as hard as you can. And believe me, those drivers were pushing in that race, evidently seen by the eventualities that happened to Fernandez and Travaglioli, who came a cropper to either incidents or crashing out. But as I mentioned, I wouldn't want to be a steward for that incident on the final lap between Travaglioli and Jazzman. Look, maybe Jazzman slightly missed the apex, maybe. But is it realistic for Travaglioli to really expect Jazzman to be able to stick in the apex in a corner that's taken flat out? Should he expect him to take it flat out, considering he's compromised his line? That's all questions that the stewards will need to be asking. No, I bet you didn't, Friedman. Didn't expect P2 at all. But you got to be in it to win it, and you were in it.
See,
and
maybe
you went
the
to
no practice is the key, eh?
Yeah.
The key to get good points. No practice, turn up, let everyone who's practiced every single second of the day for the entire week crash out from staying up too late, practicing too much, to just swamp in and just relax.
Oh, I think we missed that one, but yeah, we did wonder why he dropped down that little bit. He didn't look at, well, we're just commentators, but you did miss the apex a little bit. But I don't know if that makes that your fault. And yes, well done, Mr. Brown. It was P2 for you. Tell you what, though, this is... Hello, Mr. Veldman. Nice to have you.
Hello, Nico.
Nico Wiesmann. I mean, depending on what time you wanted to be here, you set your own standards, and then it's up to you to hit them.
Am I late or am I late? Or are you fashionably early?
Oh, we know, Mr. Brown. We wouldn't dare misbehave for the big boss. Retro. Oh, sorry. I'm just thinking of all the times we've maybe misbehaved in the stream, and your joke that spun me earlier and just reminded me of it.
I didn't do anything. You have got no hard evidence of this. Athletes sweat.
Keep.
Yeah.
This is why they pay us the big bucks. But yeah, we've just got a couple of minutes before the sprint reverse grid starts. So, I mean, could you imagine? I mean, there wasn't a vast amount of overtaking compared to previous races this season. I think that's mostly down to the track. And if your setup is got low enough wings, you can really dominate on the straights.
Hang on a minute. If Nico's the big boss, can I make a formal complaint the fact that we can hold a stream for 2 hours and not drop an F-bomb, and G Brown comes in here for less than 10 minutes and drops one? See, there's the problem.
Yeah.
It's management that's the problem. Wait, whoa, hang on a minute. I didn't say that, but...
Owen, is your shovel squared or is it sharp? Like,
it's not Adam Sharp, mate. Don't worry. It's a bit defensive, like Morgan Grace.
Yeah.
Said fudge. No, you did not. You cannot say that to me. If you said fudge, then you don't play WRC.
I mean, does he play WRC or does he just crash in WRC?
I mean, he advertises it on ACC and WRC. It's multi-advertising. See, he's that good at his job. He can advertise one game and 2 games on one game.
I mean,
if there's dirt and grass, G Brown is there. Bus thrown under, and that's where Wreckfest comes involved, because they've got buses on Wreckfest.
30 seconds.
So that would be sick.
We could probably simulate that and create a great like little gift for him or something.
I mean, to be fair, I did do the GT3 equivalent of Wreckfest in Taco Tuesday with about 20 cars.
I mean, you took out so many cars that we are still waiting on Sunday for the outcome of that. And that is not a judgment on the stewards. That is just how much carnage he caused.
They work very hard.
No, that's it. That they have a lot to go through. This is not a judgment on them. This is complete shade on you. But we are up and away. We will leave the skeletons from the closet of Taco Tuesday where they belong. And we have Wouter Heymans leading the way to start off this reverse grid. This is going to be drastically difficult, even in 40 minutes, for the magic to work from those fast pro guys at the back of the grid.
Well, especially we saw it last week from Jazzman round Spa.
And we are away. Heymans leads back, he defends the inside quite heavily, as we've already got cars going towards Rogers into the wall. Oh, as we've got a huge pile up in the back, we've got cars turning around.
There's cars backwards everywhere.
Oh no.
Oh. You were saying about my 20 car pile up?
Counting.
Checking.
As I've picked up Rashidov, I guess. In here somewhere, and he's having to defend from Eden in the Aston Martin. We head slightly forward from it while we wait for the timing screens to sort themselves out, because they're going to need some sorting out. That all got started by one car crossing Rogers, I think, at the beginning. But Heymans, Mr. Sandbag, has found himself in pro at the front and pulling away. Well, we got Zapanek going a bit deep, trying to throw it on Clayton, and Zapanek has lost it in Skyline. He's going to have to stay there for quite a while. And he's not staying there at all, he's gone to the pits.
Probably the safest option, to be fair.
Picked up... Where's Gedman? He's in the Porsche there. So he is closing in on Trotman in the BMW. And he's got Hanley for close company in the Ferrari just behind him. So Kalugin's on a bit under the cosh from Rashidov behind him. Rashidov, we saw, has built in immense straight line speed into this car. Now, is this going to be a move into the quarry bend? It is! Down the inside he goes. Can he cover him off? Goes as deep as he can dare do it. And Chetmakov I don't know about that car. It always looks like it's broken. We've got Richings going down the inside of Serfontaine as well. And a great dive. Gedman, as I mentioned, on Trotman. Looks removed on the inside of turn 1. You have to settle for holding it on the inside line as Trotman does commit to a fast outside line. And I get the feeling here that Gedman is going to be bullied by the BMW's power, but that has allowed Hanley to pull himself up alongside. Now what's this going to do as he go into Quarry Bend? Sends Gedman all the way out wide. Can Gedman keep it out the wall? Yes, he can. But that's also allowed Rashidov and the Aston Martin through. Gedman bleeding positions early on.
Speaking of positions, we do have Friedman and Jazzman all the way up to P22, 23 already.
Oh, as I caught, that was Naisbit once again playing chicken with the wall.
It's not Crossy Road.
As the cars stack up again into Skyline, even more so than the first race with the reverse grid, really compounding things.
696, backer in the wall just after Big Dipper.
Still waiting to pick him up, but that's Clayton through.
Oh, he's parked really awkwardly there.
Still not actually come up on the cameras.
Going. He's just about still going.
Now Clayton, having come through all these, has now found himself behind Heymans. Now we've got a pro and pro battle at the front.
Oh, who was that? That was a big Ferrari. Handley, formerly known as Missile Dogshaft in the
Oh, as
YouTube
we've got
comments.
cars sideways, that's Chetsmakov and the Aston Martin of Harvey taking each other off track. Allows many cars to, and we've got the Aston Martin of Apprentice going off as well.
As I was going to say, Hanley also did the same under his own steam, missed brakes.
And then Harvey, and then multiple cars overtaking Chesmakov now, including Vermeulen.
Clayton currently does have purple's fastest lap at the minute. G. Brown and Prentice side by side, causing a roadblock for Friedman behind.
Friedman will be absolutely seething.
Not going past him, not going behind him, but just staying side by side. Now that's is a bit of a move that
now,
we don't appreciate.
What will happen through here? Now they fall into formation. And now maybe Friedman can think about doing something. But now he's got Vermeulen, instead of finishing P2 behind him, he's now got Vermeulen following him. And Friedman just took a big bite out of the wall.
Oh, sorry buddy, right up front you got Rashidov all over the back of Townsend in the skyline there. I thought he was going to send a big move there. He's pretty much pushing the Pink Panther McLaren round.
Townsend's doing a great job in the anti to hold this steady in P3. But I feel the pace this Aston Martin is going to come true now.
Just behind that as well, Handley and Richings side by side down the Conrad Straight.
Ferrari versus Ferrari. The inside.
Battle of the brass.
The inside has seemed a bit more preferable. And it looks like that's how it's going to play out.
Oof.
Come on. Oh, as then Hanley takes a bit of the curb.
Yeah, touch the curb there. Richings, I think, slightly does the same.
Rashidov, side by side, sorry Owen, gets ahead of Townsend into the final turn. And Clayton as well, with his Aston Martin. The Aston Martin's doing well here.
Good exit. It's a really good exit on the exit of turn 1. Trying to break wind of the slipstream.
Here's an absolute heaven coming out of Hell Corner. But he's going to elect for the outside into Quarry Bend.
Oh, they touch a little bit.
It's a drift! And he's still going! What driving? If he can make this stick, this might be contender for overtake of the season. Wow, he gets it done. A bit of a tap, bit of a drift, and a big lump of power brings out Aston Martin of Clayton through into lead of this race. But now picked up Gedman. Has picked Townsend as his next victim. Townsend really dropping through the pack since he's had to start fighting the faster guys. But he is still leading the AM tier, so provided he doesn't get caught up in anything. But I'll tell you what, the speed Hanley just brought through that last section. He might even be thinking of moving Skyline. Oh, as he sends it and hits Brown.
Smash.
Brown, incredible job to keep a hold of it. Gedman, sorry, incredible job to keep a hold of it.
That's the wrong
Whoopsie.
car.
Whoopsie.
Oh no, you're getting sacked.
If they wanted to do it, they'd have done it seasons ago.
Apart.
Whoopsie.
Speaking of whoopsie, we've got Serpentine with Fernandez behind him now, and Sharp slowly in tow. We've got Fernandez looking for a move down the preferable inside that we've all seen a lot of drivers do.
He gets that one done.
Oh, Fernandez
Can he get it slowed down? Can he get another one?
There.
Just gets himself stopped in time for Kalugin. Hair-raising moment there. And found Richings in a bit of a sandwich between Gedman and Hanley. Which way will he fall?
I'm not quite sure what we've missed, but Jazzman has got past Friedman and Brown.
And now he's got Prentice in the Aston Martin. I reckon his Aston Martins might be his biggest issue tonight. We've got so much straight line speed for these sections.
Well, speaking of cars, we've got Fernandez trying to eye up Kalugin down the straight, which I think is going to let him past. Even though the guys don't have any obligation to let any cars past, because there's an overall championship for everyone.
Vermeulen attempts around the outside on Quarry Bend. Prentice defends it well. He's feeling feisty. This is for positionings here. So Prentice got
just up in front we had Van der Waal and Naisbitt go very deep into the cut in there. Just
Naisbitt trying the outside line, goes into the wall. That puts Prentice on the back foot. What will this do for Vermeulen?
Friedman's right in there as well.
So yeah, I think Prentice was definitely compromised by Naisbitt hitting the wall and coming back onto the line. But it seems to have settled back now.
It's Kalugin moving slow up ahead.
Yeah, Kalugin really creating a massive train here. Naisbitt taking even more wall. And Van der Waal is going to be the first one on the scene to try and overtake Kalugin. Then I reckon we're due to see a bloodbath. Kalugin did seem to get a good exit there though, so not the end of the world. Up ahead, my goodness. Oh, come on camera, catch up.
Oh, big on the brakes from the Ferrari from
Fernandez
Townsend.
Gets one.
Oh, sorry, Naisbitt. That was absolute sensational dive. Big send from Jazzman goes deep. Prentice gives him just about a wing corner for room.
Now Prentice, I reckon, is going to dive it here again. He's going to keep his nose in. Question is this exit going to be good enough? I tell you, it's good. And Friedman is now subject to the roadblock. Vermeulen's going to have the inside line for Quarry.
If you'd have seen that move from Naisbitt, buddy, it was insane. Big on the brakes.
Vermeulen goes to cover, and Friedman slips through Prentice as well.
I think we did miss Clayton overtaking Haymans to take the lead as well.
No, we got that. That was a while ago. Gedman's following Townsend pretty closely. Is he going to make a move into Skyline? No, thinks better of it. But that invites Fernandez in. Fernandez just able to back out. Looks like Townsend is the next roadblock. Oh, as we get... And that was Townsend, or was it Richings that took a lot of wall there? It was one of the pink cars.
So the half and half is Richings. And then the all pink is Townsend.
So Gedman is getting caught by Fernandez here more than he's catching Townsend. Fernandez ducks to the inside. Since in the Porsche does tap his rear on the entry. Can Gedman get it stopped? No, he can't. And then Richings across the grass. Rejoin safely. Ooh.
I thought I was going to go very Pete Tong there.
And cars behind. This is Vermeulen overtaking Kalugin, so he's already dispatched Vanderwall and he's taken another one. And Friedman doing a great job for every position Vermeulen's taken. He's just sliding through as well. We go back to Townsend.
Slide in. We got Townsend and Fernandez.
Fernandez makes easy meal out of that one. Just had the speed down the straight. But what about Gedman? Bit snaky on the brakes. Up the hill. But Clayton starting to establish a good lead out front from Heymans. With Rashidov currently holding the fastest
is right in the mix here. Sorry, buddy. P8, P9, Adam Sharp, Richings.
Ooh.
Just about keeping Naisbitt in tow as well. He's all over the shop here.
Yeah, he hit the wall and then has lost for 5 positions now. Friedman gets to as well. He does. And then Vermeulen side by side to the skyline. Friedman wants to move as well. Oh, as we got cars round.
There was a car in the middle of the track there that was rolling backwards, and Jazzman did hit him because he was rolling backwards.
And that's allowed Vanderwall back through. So work for Jazzman to do once again. What is that? Prentice letting cars back through? Now Vermeulen, attempt number 2.
Oh, who was that? Who was that? Serpentine. Big smash down the straight.
Yeah, absolute pieces. Then Vermeulen still trying to work on Vanderwall. He's going to try and round him at the final bend. Vanderwall backs out. Is Freeman through as well? Freeman has to switch back on the straight, but does find the speed, and I reckon he's going to find the inside line to overtake Vanderwall as well. You can see Richings closing in on Gedman ahead.
So I'm not quite sure what did happen, but Handley has got past Townsend and Gedman there. Gedman was leading the silver tier. Big lock up from Richings. I think Sharp has now got through, but Gedman was leading there, but has now dropped 2 places.
And Vermeulen already up to P10. Friedman still in tow. Townsend has got himself a little bit of breathing room now. Be very grateful for that. He's leading his tier by a long way. And Gedman just holding this pack up whilst they slowly close on Townsend again. So, I'm sure the car backwards, was that Fernandez? The one at the top of Skyline?
Oh, I think there's another one, buddy. 334. That's Kalugin facing the wrong way, just after the Big Dipper. Ooh, not an ideal.
So that was
place to be.
P2 in tier. And he is only just starting to get himself going again. Fortunately, my camera doesn't want to show it. But then we see Gedman getting a bit snaky on the exit of the chase. This has allowed Sharp up his outside, gets a little bit of grass. Sharp ducks down back into the inside. Ducks.
Oh!
Oh, glitch. Glitch from Gedman.
I'm glad to say that was a glitch then, because that would have been very painful. But look at Jazzman, great exit.
Oh, Jazzman off!
Richard's taking out Jazzman!
Jazzman back across the crane against the wall. Big crash for Jazzman.
Oh.
Is that... No, his steering's gone. I don't think we're going to see Jazzman continue. Or is he going to attempt to limp it back to the pits? Oh my goodness. But we carry on with the battles. So Friedman, he was following Vermeulen through, now he's got a clear track to make his own moves and not have to follow Vermeulen anymore. And he's so tight on the back of Gedman now. The leading pack is 20 seconds up the road from P4, very similar to the first race. And Rashidov getting very close to Heymans. We'll go to that shortly. Actually, we'll go to that now. So Rashidov very close. He can see P1 just up the road in Clayton. So Heymans looking in a bad way. That car's pretty banged up. And Naisbit very close in the back of Sharp. Will there be a move into the chase? There is. He goes for it. But Sharp just utilises the extra length that he has going into the braking zone. But then Townsend's made a mistake. This allows Sharp through. It's allowed Naisbit through as well. Townsend lets one through. Lets two through. Does he let Richings through as well? In the back, Friedman thinks he's got a chance to overtake Gedman at the first turn. He goes very deep on the brakes, but it's a great move. So Friedman once again looks for a move on Richings. He's super close. The entry's too tight in here to really think about a move unless your opponent messes up their line. Townsend continuing to be a bit of a blockade. But he can hold his head high. He's doing a great job against his other tier of drivers. He makes a little bit of a mistake on the exit. This might allow Richings the chance he needs into Skyline. Friedman goes to the outside. Eventually backs up, and that's Vandervoort who missed the apex. Almost let Prentice slip through. As Friedman looks at a move down to Forest Elbow. And Townsend does. Fortunately for him, get a good exit. His fight goes on for a little bit longer. Rashidov still chasing down Heymans. Oh, no.
Bit of a moment from Heymans there. Just been watching that a little bit. Very good driving from both of them. Heymans unfortunately made a little bit of a mistake there. Like you said in qualifying, buddy, that turn one is key down that straight. Oh, I see a yellow flag. Yellow flag. 134, that's G Brown.
And number 4. That's Harvey.
Oh,
and
no,
Vanderwall. Multiple cars off at the exit of the chase, and that's been a big collision. And Townsend dropping position as well. He's now down in P12. Only 3 cars now between him and his competitors of Cablo and Trotman. Oh no, Cablo's even closer than we thought. Now the timers can start to update themselves. Townsend. Oh, I don't know what's going on.
Who let you lose with technology, eh?
Rashidov is through. 3.5 seconds is the gap. He's got 18 minutes to close this down to Clayton. Can't wait to see how that one turns out. But I tell you what, he's closing in quite fast.
Well, I think Trotman had a bit of a moment there, but so G Brown just slipped down the inside. Now going round into cutting.
Oh, G Brown a bit of a wiggle. He's lost a bit of speed. Now he needs to use that clean air ahead of him and escape. Prove that it was very fast in race 1. But now he needs to escape the beamer behind. Now, how quickly can he now get on Cablo ahead of him?
So, everybody, interesting move. We've got Prentice trying to overtake Gedman down the Conrod Straight. I think it's probably a good move from Gedman there, as he does need to catch Richins if he wants to stab at the podium for race 2.
So my camera's just catching up. Prentice, good deep braking, carries the speed.
So Gedman is currently in a Prentice Aston Martin sandwich.
The two Astons trying to make Gedman their apprentice. Dad jokes roll off my tongue, guys. Must apologise. But Luke Prentice seems to have got the best exit out of the 3. Not that my camera wants to cover it. There's a lot of curb on entry.
Catching back up slowly.
Now Naisbitt, who's seemingly not been away from any fight the entirety of this race, chasing down Sharp so he can go after Hanley for a race win in the silver tier. Hanley is not far away. Oh no, that's a different car. There is 8 seconds. He is far away.
Oh, 8 seconds with 15.5 minutes around Bathurst, buddy. That's not far away.
Naisbitt has been a bit accident prone this evening. Only little accidents. Now Rashidov has reduced that gap to Clayton by a second. If he can do that at the rate he's been doing it, then maybe there's a chance within the last 5 minutes of this race. Now I've picked up Prentice. He's got Friedman all over the back of him. Looks like the other Prentice has left Gedman. But I reckon he's about to get a lot of interest, Gedman. As Prentice gets a much better exit, he selects to the inside. Is he brave enough on the brakes? No. Now will this compromise him to Friedman? Gedman, seemingly for the Porsche, not particularly happy on acceleration.
The Porsche does love a good traction zone.
Oh, but there's no traction out there though, Gedman. Gedman's snaking.
Look at Friedman. Oh, I thought he was going to do 2 in 1 there. He could do.
Could do.
He's out of it a little bit.
He's got Gedman. He's just got to make it stick. Prentice goes defensive over Gedman. Lets Friedman have the outside for a moment. Reverts back to it. And Friedman has taken one of the 2 positions. One down, 1 to go in this little battle for P9. Oh, there's Gedman. Gedman glitched into the wall there. And then just straight back out.
Glitching his barrier testing again, is he?
Yeah. That's how he manages to do 2 at once. Race and barrier test. As I've seen Naisbitt very close, but Rashidov, I'm not sure if Clayton's had an error, but he's now within a second of Clayton for the race win. So, what can they make of it? He's got 13 minutes left to get this done, so he doesn't need to rush. But if he does want to rush, he will want to extend that gap as quick as possible once he gets it. Clayton, who's led this race after the first 5 to 10 minutes, all the way to almost the final 10 minutes. Be a shame for him to lose this now, but that's racing. Rashidov just seems to carrying speed a lot happier. Right on the bottom, Cablo and Brown are very close.
Oh, sorry, buddy. We've got Friedman and Prentice side by side into turn 1. Friedman's got the inside. Better traction there. Just flicking through the pack, and I did see that there. Friedman is now ahead of Prentice.
So Friedman doing a great job.
To go.
Yeah, doing a great job of just waiting for the mistakes.
For a man that claimed he had no practice.
I've just seen Rashidov get a bit drifty. Coming towards the dipper. Yeah, Rashidov trying to use every bit of track that he can. Do you know, those barriers that they've just gone past, how stupid are they? Just every single time anybody's going to crash into them, they're just going to send them back out onto the track. That's the most stupid barrier design I've ever seen. But Rashidov stays.
It's taken you nearly 30 minutes of race 2 to realise that?
I've been concentrating on the action, not the barriers. Thank you.
Yeah. That old chestnut.
So BMW versus BMW for P15. Chekmasov on Felix. Chekmasov in the higher tier. Looking to recoup some positions from the reverse grid. Got himself in a bit of an anti sandwich right now. I do think Vermeulen elected. I think he's actually left the server, so we're not going to hear anything more from him this evening. Was wondering if he was going to put in a late charge. Oh, as we have
probably not gonna damage.
Sorry, Richard. As we have Townsend, got a bit snaky, but that has allowed Brown to get a little bit dangerous to Cablo behind, but they do have a back market in between them.
It's Serpentine, I believe. Yeah, Serpentine.
Oh, neither Brown or Cablo got a good exit there.
Speaking of good exit, we've got Friedman all over the back of Richins. Prentice has got past Richins, and now Friedman is trying to attempt to do the same.
Just every now and again, just dipping back to Rashidov.
Oh, there's a lapped car. Who was that? A white McLaren. Flores in the uphill section there.
So
Hitting the barrier. Dangerously, nearly going on track as cars were going past.
So Rashidov, very comfortable, about 4 tenths behind Clayton at the moment. So the Aston Martin just getting out of the way. Allows this battle to go on. So Richings does go defensive. Fires himself towards the racing line early. That opens up the inside for Friedman. And through Friedman goes. Oh, and ahead of him was the Aston Martin apprentice going off track. Will this open up for Friedman? He's going to be slow into the final turn. He's going to get alongside. Can he turn in and keep it on track? Apprentice doesn't give him the space.
Richings back through.
Not quite. He thought he had a alongside moment for a moment. But then the yellow Aston Martin apprentice through now as well.
Maybe the speed from the Porsche of Friedman down straight. Is it going to be enough against the beast of the Aston Martin? I don't think so.
Now the Aston Martin compromised itself here with the tight entry. It's a bit on the exit. So will there be a run up the cutting? No, Prentice defends that well. But this group doing well to continue to bring stuff up the grid, as it looks like Richings is really starting to struggle with his tyres. Rashidov closer still. Almost pushing Clayton down as the move. Here comes the move. It's down. It's doing the inside. It's taking the curb, and he's through. Can Clayton come back at this? Rashidov swerves a little bit just to see him off. Great move. With just in the nick of time as well. 7 minutes remaining, and Rashidov takes the lead of this race. Brown still not found Townsend.
Prentice is still trying to chase down. So Friedman chased down Prentice. Don't think it's be enough down this straight. Looks for it under the braking.
The one thing the Astons have, both Prentice have been good at this evening, is that late braking and taking the curb on the outside just for a bit of defence. He's going to have to do a bit more of it into Murray's corner. He's got a good exit out of that as Friedman. Now this crucial one, he's tried to coax Prentice into defending. He's not baited him. But all the same, Friedman has done very, very well in maximising his exit. He's going to pull out to the outside. Do wonder if this is going to be enough speed. No, and he has to still defend from the other apprentice. I do wonder how much is being coordinated between these two.
We have Cablo going into the pits. Driving into the pits, not quite sure why, but looking for the pack, I see Cablo going into the pits.
No, Friedman really not giving this up. He got a bit of a snap on the exit, and then we see Richings in the background. He is really struggling now in this later stage of the race. Friedman just dropping back a little bit through Skyline, and this invited Luke Prentice onto the back of him, but I think Luke Prentice then took a bit of the wall on entry as well. Oh, as Friedman gets a big snap on the exit of Forest Elbow. What does this do for Luke Prentice? Can he capitalise? No, I think he may have just had to come off the throttle to avoid him.
As we all know, the Aston Martin is no slouch down the straight.
There's a little look, but nothing going there. Now Brown has finally got past Townsend. There's a long time coming, that move. But now Chekomasov is now all over Townsend. BMW power, a bit more promising than the Lamborghini power. But has not brought it up close enough to Townsend just yet. Now we go back to Friedman again. And this Prentice sandwich battle. Is it Jack Prentice with a J? He's done a super good job of getting to the inside of Quarry Bend each and every lap. Porsche is reluctant to go around the outside there. So fantastic battles this evening of all those that are doing great to hold these such tight margins. We've only got 3 minutes left. It looks like Rashidov is going to run away with this one after all. So yeah, with the speed of these Porsches, Friedman is completely relying off his ability in the middle sector and his ability to get his exits right now. And that's a good one. Pick up the slipstream once again. But this is some impressive setup work from Prentice. Despite the slipstream, holding that straight line speed. And he gives Friedman the outside again. Just sees the curb out. But Friedman's got a great exit out of the chase. He's along the outside, but we've seen this a few times over. Prentice defends the inside like a lion. But now Luke Prentice likes to look at this as well. You're absolutely right, Veldman. From the front of the grid to the back of the grid, the Astons have been supreme around here. I don't think Freeman got the best exit there. Prentice didn't have to defend too much. So check myself still hasn't overtaken Townsend, so I do wonder what's going on there. I just thought that would have been easy pickings for the BMW down the straight. But we go back to this battle again. At least my Cranmer tries to.
Watching it a little bit, Friedman did get a little bit of a wall ride into Skyline there. Doesn't seem to phase him too much. I think that's Flores facing the wrong way. That's car 63, I beg my pardon. Oh, that is Flores.
There's Fernandez at the back. Doing a great job, he's got fastest lap. Now, as close as Friedman is, he's no closer than he was last lap. Unless he can manufacture an inside line into this bend. I'm not quite sure what else he can really threaten Prentice with.
Very deep there, he's going to possibly lose out, not quite, gets a good drive there to defend. Cost him big time that line there. The Ferrari behind.
Who is that? Because they're moving at some speed.
It's Travaglioli down in P23.
I'm assuming he's trying to lap himself. Oh my god! As the apprentice, Jack Prentice has lost out. He went wide on the exit, and that's Friedman through. So all that great work. Now it's behind, Travaglioli slips through, and now the apprentice side by side through Quarry.
Oof.
Yeah, as the Green Aston Martin now falls backwards in that battle against Friedman, who's now finally released. As now we have Rashidov just coming round the final few bends through the chase. He's done a great job to come through this, see off Clayton. He bided his time. I hope I've done a Murray Walker style job for you this evening as he comes around Murray Corner and covered Rashidov's win of the reverse race 2 in Super Sprint Sunday, followed by Clayton, followed by Heymans, who's had a quiet one after losing the lead a bit earlier on. Comes P3 in tier. We've got Hanley in the red and yellow Ferrari. He's going to come home for a silver tier win. Serpentine gets way out of the way. And then Sharp, P4 in class. Naisbit, is that a quiet one?
I believe that was Dreadlock Steve that dived out of the way.
Sorry, Naisbit hasn't had a quiet one. He was saying earlier he's had a really tough race. As Freeman just comes in just behind Naisbit, super close. Naismith run out of fuel. He seemed very slow to the line there. As Richings
Wouldn't surprise me.
Richings gets P3 in class. Gedman sees off Brown. Battle of the admins there.
Oh, bit of carnage towards the end. I think that's Serpentine. I see going backwards across the grass.
Oh, that was Fernandez. And Serpentine. Serpentine really in a bad way. Fernandez is going to come home with the fastest lap. And oh, sorry, we didn't get Townsend. P1 in class for Townsend. Well done to him. And Klugen comes in for a P2 in class. Such an eventful evening. And Kokomalakis, the last one to finish on the lead lap, comes home with a P3 in class. And there are your other finishes, everybody. Most of the leaders from the previous race actually didn't make much of an impact in the end, other than Friedman, who brings himself up to P6, but all of them off the podium. So yeah, well done, Desert Townsend. Fantastic. We are just going to grab the replay of that because we love to be.
I think it's safe to say that after that win for Dazza Townsend, I think his pit wall and pit box are going to be painted with Pink Panther.
He can now stand on top of his little podium to the tune of da 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 da. With a little pink flag and the Pink Panther music, in his pink race suit, standing aloft his pink car. He can hang his pink coloured hair proud on his head, chin up, and he takes a commanding lead in this tier. And yeah, 3 wins in 3 weekends. It's been a great roundup for Desert Townsend in this one. So there you have it, everybody. There is your finishing order. So Handley takes the win in the silver tier, followed by Naismith, followed by Richings. They were a bit spread out, so sorry we didn't cover that. Well done to Handley. And yeah, that's the podium in the AM tier goes to Townsend, Kalugan and Kokomalakis. And after earlier incidents, Fernandez comes back out and sets the fastest lap of the session, which was, if we go into the timetables, was a... Tell me his fastest one. A bit further down. Assume it's one of those 201s. No, you're very welcome, Townsend. You were ahead of a train for quite a while. You got a lot of coverage, so you're very welcome. So we're going to wait to see if we get any admins or sorry-sounding jazz bandists coming into the chat. But whilst we're waiting to see if that comes about, obviously, once again, your invitation is there. Come and join us if you fancy some of the action. If you drop a comment in the YouTube comments, an admin will reach out to you with a link to the Discord or SimGrid, depending on what's most appropriate. And yeah, get involved in not just this, in Assetto Corsa Competizione, in Assetto Corsa, AC Evo, iRacing, GT7, Formula 1, WRC. FRL has got you covered pretty much every night of the week. Make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Share it with all your friends and family, even if you don't like them. Get the good word of FRL out there for everybody to hear and see. And obviously, if you're already part of the Discord and you're part of the racing, get your extra little perks. Join the Patreon. It starts at just £3 a month. Reserve special race numbers, get early access for events, get your own Patreon server, all the extra little juicy details, the inside track for everything that's going on in FRL. But I've very much enjoyed commentating over everybody this evening. I'm assuming you have two, Owen?
Absolutely, buddy.
It's been, I mean, it wouldn't have been an FIA race. It's a little bit of carnage as per recent form, but it's all improving. I think less cars were involved in this one than your one, so that's a start. But yeah, it's been a good little ride. Been a lot of events, a lot of happenings, loads of different isolated multi-car battles, and yeah, I've really enjoyed myself this evening. So if we don't going to get anybody, I think we're going to shoot off, guys. So yeah, enjoy your Sunday evening. If you did get up for the Japanese Grand Prix this morning, get your beauty sleep for work tomorrow. You're going to need it. And yeah, we'll see you next week, where we intend to visit. I'll pull it up for you now. Amateur hour, not having this in advance. We are Alton Park. So we very much enjoy meeting you there as well. So come and join with all the action. And if you're just a cheeky driver who's been following the stream all along, concentrate on your driving, you're going to crash. And obviously, like and subscribe if you got covered quite a lot. So yeah, have a good evening, guys. Goodbye.